What advancements in aerospace technology are you most excited about?
Recently, someone just posted a report on how the laser comm system is doing, the space laser system is doing on Starlink at some photonics or optics conference. And just seeing the progress they've made since I left in 2020 and seeing those now up in space doing well. I mean, it is a profoundly advanced and capable system that I just think is so crazy cool for communication and just on the engineering side of things. So I don't know all the things that that's going to affect going forward, but I think that is definitely a profound thing that's now up in space that has only been boiled up in the past 2-3 years. And I think will have crucial impacts. I mean, it's already having a major impact for just making Starlink an incredibly functional system. But really it's all about Starship. You know, the Starship is such an ambitious project. It's always been SpaceX's orienting point of making human life multiplanetary. The way it's being developed down in South Texas, really rapid build and test cycles, getting into a flight-like test as fast as possible. I think it's super important. The team learns a ton every single test. You know, people look at those and be like, oh, another SpaceX rocket blew up, but people are expecting those to blow up. And I know you know that, but I don't think like the media or the public knows that. These are very much development vehicles and each one is getting so much better every time. But even then, with a project of this scale, with how expensive it is, with how big it is, a rocket has never been developed like this before. This is very much that Silicon Valley fail fast, fail often ideology that at times we used on Falcon 9, but SpaceX hadn't really proven itself yet on Falcon 9. It was still a little bit more, I guess, timid as they were developing Falcon 9. And now that SpaceX is just, you know, the world leader in space flight, they have a lot more confidence. And so they're like, they can just take massive risk on Starship and go up and blow it up and go up and blow it up and hopefully not burn enough money that eventually it gets to be as robust and reliable as Falcon 9 is, which is crazy reliable. Like I said, like 100 successful flights, 100 plus successful flights, like 100 a year, I think is the number. Is it 100 a year? I don't know. There's crazy numbers of flights. You'll have to fact check me on those numbers there. Starship has so far to go until it's like Falcon 9. And this process will get it there. Launch, learn, launch, learn, launch, learn. But how many years will that go on? What will be the cadence between launches? How much will each failure cost? I'm really monitoring the abrasion between the FAA and SpaceX. It seems like most launches are held up by an FAA type review. It seems like the leadership at SpaceX, I mean, mostly Elon probably, are getting quite disgruntled by the slowness of that or maybe the bureaucracy of that. But these regulatory bodies are important, but I don't really know. I have to do my own research. Are they operating well? Or is it just, you know, phooey, like I'm sure Elon thinks it is? I don't know. You know, Starship, they had hoped that Starship would be, you know, taking trips to Mars now, 2024. It's not there yet. It is a mind-bogglingly awesome rocket. The last launch I watched, IFT-2, I mean, I just had chill bumps head to toe. It was just so beautiful on that morning. It had great camera angles and the hot staging was super cool. And just my excitement about it is so high. I'm so happy for the team there. I'm a little bit envious that they get to work on it because it's, you know, it's just such a cool project and I love problem solving with them. It really is all about Starship. And I think it's far from certain, you know, this rocket's going to be going to Mars anytime soon. There's so much work to get there. I want it to be going to Mars, but like so much work has to be done and no one's ever done it like this before. And so I'm just watching that space really closely. There's tons of other cool stuff going on. So many amazing space startups. People are doing awesome work everywhere. The company, I'll just give a shout out to Muon Space, doing like some climate science stuff. Relativity has a lot of the old SpaceXers, their 3D printing rockets. I'm sure I'm forgetting tons of things. NASA's still cool. Some of my best friends from high school are at Blue Origin.
When do you think that the SpaceX Starship will start going to Mars, or at least to orbit?
So it should make orbit pretty soon in the next couple of flights. Next 3 flights for sure. Maybe good confidence that, or there's high confidence it could be the next flight, IFT-3, which should be within the month. But and then they'll start launching real missions with Starlinks on there. So that's a big advantage SpaceX has, is that they can run these really risky development missions with their own Starlink panels on there, the Starlink satellites. And so if the rocket goes kaboom and explodes, nobody's mad at them except themselves. So they can accept a really high risk profile to launch their own stuff. That's one of the huge competitive advantages of SpaceX and Starlink, is the ability to launch their own satellites. But The second they get one of these things into orbit, they're going to start throwing Starlinks on there. Maybe they'll do 1 or 2 missions because the risk will still be too high, but they can get it up to Falcon 9 levels of reliability on Starlink missions. But like I said, human spaceflight is another thing entirely, and the certification side of things will be just as scary with the FAA, with NASA. And you don't know, maybe we start flying Starlinks and, maybe there's 5 failures out of 50. I don't want to fly on that rocket if I'm a human going to Mars. Yeah, it just really remains to be seen if all the kinks will be worked out. It's no guarantee. And I don't know what the culture is like at SpaceX now. I don't know if it's as great as it was when I was there. I hope it is, but Elon has changed a lot. Companies grow and they age, sometimes slow down a bit. I don't think that's SpaceX, but I would be concerned that maybe some of the changes in perception around Elon's leadership would change the dynamics up a bit of how the team operates.